young journalist and documentarian named Taylor has arrived in the town of Glen Echo, Maryland, along with a couple of cameramen. They are seeking out a very peculiar fellow named Leslie Vernon, a man who aspires to join the ranks of such classic killers as Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. In the world in which this film takes place, these aren't horror movie characters, but actual historical figures. Leslie lets Taylor into his world and outlines what's involved if you want to become one of the great serial slashers. Every classic supernatural killer needs a juicy backstory. Leslie assumes the identity of a young boy that was supposedly killed by the locals some decades ago, and now he's returning to terrorize them. Leslie's masterpiece is set to be unveiled on the anniversary of his purported death in his childhood farmhouse, where every year local teenagers turn up to scare each other and tempt the curse of Leslie Vernon. This year he's going to reappear and slaughter them all, except of course for the obligatory survivor girl that he has picked out. He walks us through the meticulous preparation that goes into pulling off something like this.
Let me get this straight. You want her to arm herself with one of these?
All the obvious weapons right up front, I've sabotaged. I've pre-cut the handle so it'll snap with the first swing. The main fuse rigged up to cut the power. I've cut down the larger branches from the trees to prevent anyone from climbing down. If someone comes in and sees two horrifically mangled bodies, they'll run screaming from the house. I'll lose containment way too early.
Along the way, we meet his closest friends, Jamie and Eugene. Eugene is a former slasher himself and mentor to Leslie, played by the late screen legend Scott Wilson. Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, appears in the film as Leslie's Ahab, which is basically the Donald Pleasance character in the Halloween movies. Someone from the killer's past that returns to try and prevent these horrible acts from occurring. Things are all fun and games for the first little while, but as the crew gets deeper and deeper into Leslie's plan, they run the risk of jeopardizing what he's worked so hard to construct.
If you want to pack it up and go home, that is fine. It's not going to affect what I have to do. And frankly, I'll be glad not dragging you fuckers along anymore. But don't ruin my life's work.
All roads eventually lead to Leslie's magnum opus at the farmhouse, but we discover that he hasn't revealed his entire hand just yet, and the film's whole visual aesthetic makes a hard left turn from handheld documentary to slickly produced horror movie in the final act. It's very clever and supremely satisfying.
It's over. The documentary's done. Now he's done.
The two lead actors in this film are Angela Goethals as Taylor.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
What?
And Nathan Basil as Leslie, and this dude is phenomenal. He hasn't really done a whole lot since this film in 2006, and that's unfortunate. I guess this was just the role that he was born to play. Behind the Mask lovingly skewers all the familiar tropes of slasher movies and ends up itself becoming a worthy entry into the genre, to stand alongside Michael Myers, Freddy, and Jason. Leslie Vernon would be proud.
I'm so happy.